What's up, film lovers? Welcome back to the CeeLo's Film Club. We break down the biggest movie news and dive deep into the world of cinema. And today, we're going to be talking about a couple movie news that has been coming out the last few days, the last week and a half or so. And yeah, very excited to talk about these topics. We're going to be talking about the new casting for DCU's Clayface. We got brand new casting for that. We also have a brand new addition to the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is very surprising but also very exciting as well. And then last but not least, out of nowhere, we had a couple names that were being thrown out there that were in talks to take over the 007 franchise that is now owned by Amazon. And they pretty much got one of the hottest directors of Hollywood right now. So I'm very excited to talk about this, guys. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. And make sure we stay tuned on those movie news. All right, guys. Let's jump into our first topic. Our first topic, we're going to be talking about the DCU's Clayface. Pretty much, this is coming to you guys from the Hollywood Reporter, and a lot of, this is pretty much confirmed everywhere. But I'm gonna read you guys the article from the Hollywood Reporter. DC Studios horror movie Clayface to star Tom. Sorry if I'm saying his name incorrect. Tom's Rise Harris. Harris, I believe you say his name. I think they went through a whole bunch of casting. There was other names thrown around, but what's it called? This is coming to you guys from the Hollywood Reporter. DC Studios has found the actor who helped mold its Clayface movie, Tom Harris, a Welsh actor who is relatively unknown stateside, will star in the Batman villain known as the shape-shifting ability Clayface. The casting ends its search for a focused young British actor. It was looking for guys, there was a couple names that were thrown in the mix, like Sinner's bad guy Jack O'Connell, Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes Tom Blyth, and George McKay, star of the war movie 1917. Sources said DC toppers James Gunn and Peter Safran were ready to pull the trigger on those that they have not met with and went deeper into the well. The story is still Mike Flanagan's, and it's also it's Mike Flanagan's story. It's all his, allegedly, according to James Gunn. But this can change. This is part of the DCU, and it's from the director James Watkins that did Speak No Evil, which I have not watched. I heard good things about the movie, so I'm very excited about this, guys. This movie's rolling, guys. This movie's rolling. The cast is announced. I think they start shooting, I believe, that this year. And just by looking by this guy's face, looks very interesting features. I think this is a great choice when you have names that you kind of know and end up getting someone a little bit on the unknown side, because they wanted to, make sure that everyone got a fair chance, and they landed on this guy. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited. I can't wait till I see this film. At first I was like, why are they going to make a Clayface story? And then also, James Gunn confirmed that this might be the first film that's going to be rated R. I can't wait for this. It's going to be very grounded, low budget. I think this is a film that's going to catch people by surprise. I think they market it well. It can do very good because they're not going to spend a lot of money on it. They're very key on scripts first before they even, definitely green light a film. But I really can't wait for this, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this casting. What do you think about this guy? I know he's not very well known in the state sites, but I think this is a very good casting overall. I think this is great. So let's jump into our next topic, guys. Right now, let's see, what do I go with, 007 or Spider-Man? Let's go with Spider-Man real quick. So I've heard this in the last couple of days. I did not get a chance on jumping on this, but guess who is going to join our cast for Spider-Man? I keep saying No Way Home, Brand New Day. Mr. John Bernthal himself, Mr. Punisher. I can't wait to see this, guys. I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not 100% sure if they have confirmed that, Mark Ruffalo is going to be in, Brand New Day. But it is pretty much, kind of confirmed in a sense where they did kind of, a couple websites have his name in the casting. It could be incorrect, but I'm not sure what story they're going to go with this. If they're going to fight each other, fight together to fight somebody. But yeah, I'm going to read you guys the article from the Hollywood Reporter, pretty much saying John Bernthal John Berthal has appeared in several Marvel television series as a Stone Cold vigilante known as the Punisher, even headlining his own series. Now he's taking his guns to the big screen, which I'm very excited for. I think it's about time we see Big Punisher, the Punisher on the, actual big movie screens and theaters and stuff like that. I think they're gonna have great chemistry, him and Tom Holland. There's actually something that just a little not an Easter egg, but something that John Berthal said when he was on a talk show, that him and Tom Holland were actually auditioning for their both roles for Punisher and Spider-Man, and they were both helping each other out, read the lines before they got the parts. And look at this now. They're both going to be playing those characters years later in the movie together, which I think is very awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if they would add Daredevil a little bit later. Very excited for this, guys. I think it's going to bring a lot of excitement to people, and I think this is going to get people talking about the film itself. And yeah, guys, I mean, I'm a big fan of John Berthal. I think he's a great actor. I'm a big fan of his since Fury, but he is great. I think one of my favorite roles besides the Punisher, also in Fury, that's when I became a fan of him. But him in The Wolf of Wall Street, he is great in that movie too as well. But yeah, guys, some of you guys think about John Berthal joining Spider-Man. I don't see any negativity towards this. If you have thoughts, leave them down below. And let's jump into our next topic, guys. We do have, finally, after searches and searches and searches, we do have next director that's be taking over the 007 James Bond franchise that is now owned by Amazon. I think the choice that they went for is awesome. So according to Hollywood Reporter and a whole bunch of websites, everyone's confirmed this already. Denis Villeneuve is to direct the next James Bond film. Denis Villeneuve coming in hot from the Dune franchise right now, which I love the second Dune. I had such a great experience. I watched the movie over and over again, and yeah, so they finally landed Denis Villeneuve, and it seems like there are going to be multiple films for this. So I'm going to give you guys a quick, article that Hollywood Reporter has for this subject. Pretty much, Denis Villeneuve is going from Dune to 007. The filmmaker has been tapped to direct the next James Bond movie, the first from Amazon MGM Studios. Villeneuve's artistic partner, Tanya Lapointe, and Villeneuve's artistic partner and wife will serve as executive producer, along with Villeneuve, as previously is now announced by Amy Pascal, and David Heyman will serve as also producers. I was a little skeptic. I'm like, they're just going to go for the hottest director. Maybe they get someone that hasn't had a chance to get something big. But I think this is going to be great, especially something that Denis Villeneuve said in the past, which I'm going to read to you guys what Denis said. Denis said, some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond's films with my father since Dr. No with Sean Connery, and I'm a die-hard Bond fan. To me, he's scared territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come, said Villeneuve. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. I can't wait for this, guys. I think Denis Villeneuve is a great director. Also, I've said in the past that he should have been directing a Batman film when Ben Affleck kind of stepped away from the whole directing process of Batman. There was a couple names that were thrown out there. Matt Reeves was one of them. Scott Ridley and Dennis. Am I saying his name wrong? I think I might be saying his name wrong. I apologize. I think it's Denis Villeneuve. He has such an eye. He did Blade Runner. He did Arrival, where a lot of people were fans of, which I was a 50-50 on. He also did Sicario, which is a great film. He did Blade Runner. He did Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal. He did the Dune franchises. I'm missing a couple more movies. great director. Great director. They also had other names that were thrown around earlier this week, which I was going to cover, but they actually announced who they picked. Bond was for the Bond franchise. There was filmmakers reported that were in talks. Very interesting list. Really good list overall. One was Edgar Wright, which I'm very which I'm a big fan of. Big fan of Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright to me, is one of those guys that has an eye for film. He has a comedic timing too as well, which James Bond, the older James Bond, has a little bit too. And then Paul Keane and Edward Berger. Paul Keane, I think, did the Paddington movies, which are great. And then there's also another name that's been thrown around, Jonathan Nolan, which he just did. He just did the franchise for Fallout, and he has a good relation with Amazon. He's also, of course, Christopher Nolan's brother. Christopher Nolan has been interested in doing the James Bond movie, but I think he's doing other. He's not, of course, he's busy with the Odyssey and stuff like that, but also I do think that he is, kind of over him trying to do the James Bond movies, just moving forward to doing his own creative, original ideas and stuff like that. I think Jonathan Nolan would have been a pretty good name. I thought they were going to go for him. I wanted them to go for Edgar Wright or Denis, so I'm very excited that they picked Denis Villeneuve. Let me know what you guys think about the director that they picked. If you guys are excited for this, this is going to be great. He's good at building worlds, everything being practical, so I'm very excited for this. Now that we're in the James Bond topic, I'm going to give a couple names that have been recently kind of floating in my mind for James Bond's 007. I know everyone wants Henry Cavill to play James Bond. I think he's a little bit older now to be playing the role. Maybe 5 to 10 years ago would have been a lot of better choice. There's also Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think, is a good name too as well. But I'm going to throw two names that have been on my mind lately, and I'm going to tell you guys why. One, Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult's a great actor. He has a really good James Bond look to him. I think he can pull off being an agent, especially now. A 007 agent, especially now that he's doing the whole Lex Luthor villain thing. I think this would be great for him. He's British too as well. And yeah, I think Nicholas Hoult is a name that I've not seen really thrown around, but I think is a name that can surprise a lot of people. I'll give you guys one of my picks that I never thought about until just a few days ago. I think this name gets overlooked all the time until you see him on the big screen. Mr. The Batman himself, Robert Pattinson. I think that he will be a great addition in as James Bond 007. He has a look. If you've seen him in Tenet, he looks great in a suit and doing all that kind of like spy espionage kind of thing. And he also, he's great as the Batman. A lot of people were hating on him when he was first casting as the Batman, and just look at him now. Those are my top two names. They're a little bit on the younger side, and also Robert Pattinson has, the physicality, the look for it, and he's a great actor, very great actor. And I can't wait for them to pick their next. Their next James Bond, which I think is going to be coming pretty soon. That'd be cool if he got it. I think, especially, I forgot about this, especially Robert Pattinson is going to be in the third Dune movie. I know Tom Holland's a name that's been thrown around too as well, but I think it's too much a little bit on the younger side. But I wouldn't be opposed to it. Whatever, the director casts for the role, I think will be great. Overall, everybody, when I think about all this movie news, there was a lot to take in. Great movie news. But if you guys want to watch more of this movie news, if you guys like my videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Leave your comments down below. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.